Jump Force was revealed in 2018 and the premise was that it is an anime crossover fighting game with characters from popular franchises like Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball and so on, and it was created as a celebration for the Shonen Jump's 50th anniversary. Of course, it got a lot of hype because why not? Imagine all the dream battles you could think of creating in this one crossover game. And then the game dropped. The game was a cash grab that didn't even last long because in 2021 the game was deleted from all online stores. So much for a supposed celebration of Shonen Jump. Okay, what about Storm Connections? It's just released late last year and has a lot of characters and maps and a whole slew of gameplay improvement from the last one, as advertised. What's the catch?
CyberConnect replaced the Chakra Shuriken move with a second jutsu. They not only removed the Chakra Shuriken move, but they also removed tilts. There is no way to invite your friends to a match.
I thought they were just gonna pluck out these major fights throughout all of their games and smack them into episodes, and that's exactly what they did. This is supposed to be the recap, and it's barely going over anything. It's skipping all of the big details.
The main problem with this game's character roster are the new characters. There are really 10 new characters, and 3 of those are alternate versions of characters already in the game. Rather, what they're focused on marketing is the new simple control scheme, which allows players to execute combos by just mashing one button.
Oh, and they say Jujutsu Kaisen game? I wonder how it is. Oh, what about that Demon Slayer game? Oh, it's just another Storm clone. What about One Punch Man? Bleach? Look, I don't hate on anime games. I really don't. I like the appeal of recreating iconic battles or creating dream months with iconic characters from the franchises I love, but it is hard to root for this kind of games when every subsequent release is between mid and absolutely terrible at full price, and still ask for more money from a fan base that obviously do not give a flying fuck and still buy the game regardless. I have a lot of things to complain about this genre, and unless these complaints are addressed, I do not think that this genre can move any further. Why, oh why are there so many arena fighters? As a concept, it looks good. A very big chunk of anime battles are large scale or at least occur in a very wide area, and it's not like the formula doesn't work. Budokai Tenkaichi is a beloved game amongst fans, and it's an arena fighter too for that matter. I obviously do not want the formula to be gone. Hell, I'm excited for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but my issue is that the current iteration of this formula is bland, overused and milked to death. Combos are easy to do, hence encourages spamming. The arena combat system doesn't have much depth, and apart from some balancing, the character play mostly the same, which is why the genre is rejected by the fighting game community. And for God's sake, just move on from arena fighters. There are several genres you could take notes from that even fit some franchises even more. Why not make a Naruto game that is an open world action RPG based on the event after Shippuden, with the premise being you being the next great shinobi of your generation? Or a Demon Slayer game with combat similar to that of Ghost of Tsushima with a somewhat bigger scale? Or a One Piece game that is like Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Or a simple Bleach game with linear storyline? Or Borderlands meets Cowboy Bebop? Why not just try any new ideas? You can't, because how else can you monetize your game for a quick buck? How else can you release a mediocre game with little or no content, duct tape it with DLCs and run it with the bag 3 or 4 years later, rendering the game absolutely useless? And I know the perfect publisher to blame for this. Why is Bandai Namco publishing almost every anime game? Why give them the monopoly? Seriously, their track record isn't even good, and that's wild because they publish an extremely popular and well-received fighting game franchise, Tekken. Hell, they even publish almost every single From Software game, including Elden Ring that won Game of the Year recently. How is it that half of their games catalog are all these high quality must play games and the rest are just mediocre bootleg anime games? Their practices aren't flawless, I can admit that, and I'm willing to believe that the reason they let From Software and the Tekken Studios do whatever the hell they want is because their games are making a lot of money. Not all anime shows need a game, or at the very best, is fit for an arena fighter. One Punch Man is about a character whose entire premise involves beating enemies with one punch. He literally one-shots people. How will an arena fighter fit him? Jujutsu Kaisen uses a power system that is complicated to the point that it is almost impossible to implement it in a video game, or at the very best, difficult. Why isn't Seven Deadly Sins a fantasy RPG? Why an arena fighter? It doesn't make sense. Not every anime needs a video game, or some anime just need a different genre. But nah, that takes more efforts, and that's because the reason why anime games are in this state is because these games aren't created because of an idea or an inspiration or to tell a story or create an experience or even out of passion for the IP. They are created to make money off dumb ass weebs. The fucking cycle is there. A new anime or a new season drops, it gets hype, it becomes popular amongst the fan base, and a game based on said anime is created to make a quick buck. It has happened over and over and over again. And it's crazy. I might assume that the Insomniac Spider-Man games were created to make money off of Spider-Man fans, but at the very least there was an idea, there was an experience, and a story to be told. If Spider-Man 2018 didn't take notes from the Arkham games that also took notes from the Assassin's Creed games and wasn't that good of a game, the IP wouldn't have gotten that much value in the gaming industry. If the Arkham games were just a cheap cash grab and didn't have this much quality and care, there wouldn't be a huge pool of Batman or even just Arkham fans that were not even fans of Batman in the first place to make money off. We are way past the era of cheap bootleg movie games, and while this era of anime games isn't as bad, it is definitely similar and it is definitely not pleasing. The only franchise I know of that has mostly figured this shit out is Dragon Ball. Does the franchise have its own else? Yes, it does, but at the very least, the devs have made an amazing trilogy of games before with the Budokai Tenkaichi series. They have made a game that appealed to the fighting game community, both casual and hardcore, and now they're releasing a game that on paper has literally everything a Dragon Ball fan wanted. I want Sparking Zero to be good, not just because I'm a Dragon Ball fan, but also hopefully it encourages entire anime game space to get their shit together, because right now things aren't looking good and the current era of anime games is not great.